All right. How's it going tonight, everyone? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Sorry for the late start. I don't know, something's going on with my body today, and everything's hurting like hell. And I'm tired as shit. So, whatever. We're here now. Not sure what quite we're gonna get into tonight. I just remember there's something I wanted to do with this. I wanted to see if we could get our books loaded into this again. Um, and we're gonna start with that real quick to see if we could do that. But I'm not seeing a way to do that. Hmm. I thought we dumped these in like a local spot or something. Installing API. Okay. Okay, so if we put stuff into data home, what is XTG data home again? Not set. Local shared dev help is where it's supposed to go. Okay. Dev help books. So in theory, local share dev help make directory books cd books ln minus s tilde slash p slash Pidgin slash build lib purple reference lib purple. Might have to restart. So yeah, not sure what we're gonna get into today. We might pull a bunch of um Purple 3 reference manual. That looks like it's working. We might start doing so we want to pull in the IBIS 04 release. We might go through and just churn through some unit tests there. There's still more stuff we can do for UI stuff in general. I really need to work on Haya and or Zeem. We're not going to get sit by experimental 3. I think that much is clear already. I'm still trying to figure out what direction we're going to go there. I have some thoughts, but I need to get some feedback on that. But in the meantime, let's also grab hassle build, hassle reference, hassle. IBIS build, IBIS reference, IBIS. So yeah, none of these are gonna pop up right away. Oh no, there, hassle did. It looks like IBIS or something just did. Yeah, look at that, sweet. Oh, we even got the getting started docs in here. Yes, 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 yes. I don't remember how this got broke or why this didn't work anymore, but whatever. Zine. What else are we missing here? Oh, G plugin. I guess we can pull in Traversity too. I feel like we're still missing. Oh, did we get Burb? No, we did not get Burb. Okay. Cool. We should have all our books in here now. Yay. So I don't actually have to keep going to the webpage anymore, which is why I kept going to the webpage. So cool. Everything's in dev help. One of the other reasons I want to put this here is there's a new documentation tool that's available via Flatpak Artifact, build artifact. That's supposed to eventually be replacing dev help, which is fine. Whatever, you know, it is what it is. But it's nice to have all of our stuff in here too. Oh, Dockatu's still in here somehow. Oh, this has got to be. This doesn't tell me where the book is, does it? That would be nifty. I guess not. I wonder where that is. Maybe under GTK doc. Ah, yes. That was rough. A mistake. Okay. But that would be where Talking To was coming from. Let's close this. Dev help. Okay, yep. Alright. I think that's everything. If not, we'll get them later. Mina's not in here. But there, well, whatever. We'll put Mina in here since we've got everything else. Why is Pidgin dead? Oh, because I messed it up. I want to do the same for Mina. Mina. Okay, everything looks better. I still feel like we're missing something. We have too many libraries. I know. Who is this person that's saying that? Yeah, it's not wrong. I'm cheating because we have the list right here. Oh, I don't have Pidgin 2 in here. That's fine. G plugin, Hassel, Burb, Zeem, Ibis. Oh, Seagull. I miss Seagull. Yeah. That should be all the things now. I don't know how. Oh, there's. Oop. Cool. Alright, our dev help has been maxed out. It has all the powers now. So, we can pull in Burb for this, but I wanted to do it as a separate one because this is a little bit more. Tag string object. The initial work towards making purple tag use a Burb string object. Okay. Oh, we guess we could have merged that one. Oh, we have that one ready to land. I followed up on all these, right? I think I did. Oh, no, I had, whatever. I did my follow-up, yeah. Okay. How's it going, Siva? Welcome. How are you? I still gotta work out that one. As soon as the better. In the meantime, reload, man. Reload. Oh, there's bleeping. Email. Oh, my food delivery tomorrow. Yeah. Alright. Burb dot wrapper file 0.4.0. I really wish that you could like use a template in here. Make things much easier. But I mean, it's not horrible. It's just semi-annoying. Build. Okay, why are you messing with Proton at all? Not sure what that has to do with anything here, but okay. building, and we're building, and we're building. All right, that looks like it's fine, which is good. So we want to go, test/star.c, and we're going to look for items changed. 86. We do not have verb yet. So for those of you who don't know, Burb is a utility library for us. We recently added a bunch of stuff to check for this stuff, so we don't have to keep rewriting this. What was that? That was test attachments, Mason, test minus Z, attachment. Attachments, my bad. Okay, yep. So, all this stuff just broke, that's fine. Because if we go to line 60, instead of this, we're going to say burb count items changed. I think that's it. Count. Oh, list model items changed. Okay. So then we put in the model. So G list model attachments, comma, items change counter. Boom. This is kind of silly, but it gets rid of some of the noise and makes things a little bit easier to see. I'm gonna say burb count. Was it property change? Yeah, property change. Oop. G object attachments, then the property name, notify, and items, and items counter. Boom. Yep. So it does. The main point is it gets rid of that redundancy, and we get the check. It's really easy. It's just right there, right? It's just a testing thing. It's not a big deal. It just makes things easier. Count, not property change. G list model attachments. Actually, what am I doing? These are probably the same variable names everywhere. If not, we'll find out. Is that all the signals we got? Might be. This is very well, no, that should have worked. Oh, right. We don't put the notify in there. We give the property name and then the signal does it. That's a problem. It was looking for this. Because that automatically gets prefixed on. We could make that conditional, but whatever, it's fine. Yep, there you go, sweet. Yep. So this is just going to be some grinding through this, which is fine. But this lets us focus more on the actual tests than anything else, which is the important part. Verb count, list, model, items, change, G, list, model, badges, counter. Right? Verb, items, changed. G, list, model, badges. This also gets some extra type checks, whatever, right? Because we're making sure that this implements list model, all that stuff. So we could add the other counter too, but this is fine. And again, why am I just not copying this? I like to retype everything all the time. But this is a pretty common paradigm for us, or not paradigm, pattern, which is why we decided to put it into our helper library even. Verb count, list model, items. Oh, it's changed, isn't it? Yeah. All right, multi-cursor, best cursor. Okay. Again, unit test. Woo! Verb count, list model, items changed. G list model, manager, counter. Nice, hope everyone's doing well tonight. Having a good start to your week. We've got a 3-day weekend coming up here in the U.S., which is always a good time. Not badges. This was commands? Command manager. Okay, guess we're done with that one. That's a separate signal. That's okay. We obviously can't do everything, but that's okay. Right, so this one is dealing with the conversation manager signals. So we can't put that in verb. Is that it? Oh, okay. Conversation manager, conversation members. We'll get back to that in a second. Let's add remove. Yep. Okay, I guess that's just here. I think we have to leave that way. This is a list model one though. It's conversation members. The other one, it's checking the rest of the signals. Not just that the items got called. 216. Oh, we need verb first. There's a lot of other stuff that we could be doing here too. But it's okay, we gotta start somewhere. What color fit there? Yes, it will. No, it was conversation members. These should be okay. Oh, is this a splice? Extend, yeah. Let's go and sit around. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Existing members. property change. It's change, right? This one feels like it should be changes, but whatever. Existing members and items. Right, same deal, but new members. Right, what? Why does that go at the end? Oh, okay. That's okay. Nope. So confused. Yep, that seems like it should be fine. Oh, I'm a dummy. This is, I didn't change these names. I'm like, what? There we go. 271's not used though. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I did these separate. 259, yeah. Okay. But again, the whole reason the utilities here look at the stuff we're just getting rid of, right? It's all the same thing again and again and again and again. This is exactly what you're supposed to be doing for that kind of stuff. Credential manager, items changed. 206. Manager changed. Nope. This was credential manager, I think. It should fit, or should get a warning at least. Yep, 144. Okay. Moving right along. And this is called getting your tech debt before it gets you. That was 226. Where were we before? Verb count, list model, items, change, G, list model, manager, changed. What was this? This was history manager. Yep. And 144 is not used. Okay. And how many are there of these? I know there's a lot, but oof. Custom messages, don't see 129. Verb count, list model items, change, list model messages, counter. Oh no, not that I didn't delete the callback. Are we still alive? Because where the fuck did OBS just go? We still seem to be alive? That's interesting. Okay. OBS just disappeared from where it should be. Well, this is quite the problem. OBS appears to still be running, but I don't know where it went. Unless it's somehow ended up on workspace 1, which I can't easily switch to right now. I mean, I can, but I can't, right? What was last up? It should have been... Oh, no, it should be the full screen page. Yep, not there. uh... Huh. Yeah. This is, interesting. Hmm. Like, I see it running in PS, but I don't have a window for it anymore. And it's not in the system tray. I just have Pidgin. We're gonna try to run it again. Maybe it'll plop it up. Nope, it says it's already running. Yeah, it says if it's minimized or going to there. There's not a system tray here, is there? Nope. Huh. Is there a way to, like, pop it back up? Nope. Well, let's see what happens if I tell it to minimize to the system tray. Nope, it still detects that it's running. Alright, well, it's dead. I don't have a way to deal with it. I guess when I'm done streaming, I'm just going to kill it. Right? I don't know what other options I have. Yeah. No, we're not going to kill -9-1. So. So SWK, if you have a minute or so, I have some tough, stupid questions for you. And they're stupid because you're going to say they're stupid. But that's okay. But I don't know if you're listening anymore. Right. How did it end up here? All of a sudden I saw it. Okay, whatever. OBS is still running. Don't know what it did. Okay, so you keep saying if I'm gonna write my own SIP parsing library, I'm a crazy maniac. What are the pain points of that? My machine uptime? I don't know, a couple days. 8 days. Because if I'm just processing SIP messages, okay, specifically, what are the pain points? Right? Like, that's a non-answer, and that's not going to stop me from doing it. Because that's not an answer. Like, what are the assumptions? SIP is SIP, as in Session Initiation Protocol, aka Voice over IP. We're like a 10-lane highway, most people in 4 lanes. You got switch 4. But, like, is this a problem with people not implementing specific headers? Like, that's what I'm looking for, right? That's the part I'm not understanding, and I don't know. If I have to write an ass ton of code to make Sophia work, when I don't need 75% of what Sophia does, wouldn't it make more sense to write new code and not have the parts I don't need? Okay, but like there's a handful of verbs. Those have different actions. The message format is, for all intents and purposes, HTTP like. Parsing it into a message isn't difficult. So is the problem interpreting those messages because some things don't put stuff there and there's not right defaults, or that's my question, right? Because if it's stuff like, oh well, you have to enable or do SDP negotiation, all this other stuff, it's whatever. Okay, so you're saying the problem is endpoints don't know, or they're expecting things a certain way, and if you don't do it a certain way for them, that will cause the issue. That's what you're saying. Invite, but you want to send a new SDP. What method do you call? Isn't it invite? I know you're saying it's going to depend on what the implementation is. Is the invite transaction still going, or is it done on that dialogue? Okay, but that sounds like that's well defined. It's like so like I'm all for using existing stuff. The problem is if I have to spend a ton of maintenance or a ton of time developing and designing glue code I might as well just write something that's more well integrated, right? Right. Well, I mean, that's no different than any XMPP server. It's no different than IRC. It's no different than any of the other crap we run into, right? Where there's multiple different server implementations. That's really not out of the realm of possibility for us. Keep in mind that in the past, and Ian does most of it now, but like we develop against proprietary protocols, which can change whenever. Like it's not even a matter of an RFC. It's just, oh, it's different today. And then 3 hours later, oh, they changed it again. Oh, sure. I'm not saying it is. Like parsing and everything, sure, but like making integration is always hard. That's my point. Right? And for all intents and purposes, we should mostly be going through something like free switch, open sips, or something like that all the time, right? So for all intents and purposes, we should be able to get most. We should be able to get most of the heavy hitters and have lots of have. If there's corner cases, there's a bunch of them, but they're small, niche, and niche, right? That's at least the way it seems. Like we're not necessarily doing peer to peer. So like we don't have to worry about, oh well, in this version of Polycom they did this, and on this version of Yalink they did this, right? Because that's all going to be hidden behind Kamiilio, OpenSIPs, Asterix, Free Switch, etc. Right? Like if we were trying to like talk directly peer to peer, I could see them being big concerns. But I don't know. It does. It seems like there's a lot of bark and not a whole lot of bite. I could be wrong, right? You're the expert here, not me. But my interpretation right now is that's what it seems like. Yeah, dude, have you looked at XMPP? I think we looked at PJ SIP a little bit. So, like, the problem with all this stuff is we only need somewhere between 10 and 25% of what any of these libraries require, do and require, right? So, most of them all pull in libSSL3, which is license compatible with GPL now. It didn't used to be. Or pre SSL3, it wasn't GPL compatible. But then some of them are pulling in FFmpeg. I think another one's pulling in libav. We have GStreamer for that. For OpenSSL, I forgot. We have GNU TLS. That's already built in. That's part of glib, right? So, like, it's not even necessarily like a problem of like, oh, well, it's extra dependencies to install and it's going to waste disk space and it's going to load stuff in memory. Redundant TLS implementations matter. I don't give a shit about that. The bigger problem is packaging and maintaining the packaging. That's the bigger problem, right? Because then I have to pull in all those dependencies to package stuff for Mac and Windows, and that's a much bigger concern to me than anything else. I don't know shit about gaming on Linux, so your questions aren't going to be answered. How could I not put all that stuff in SWK? When you're already telling me I have to write some sort of message parsing with a FIFO to use Sophia in the way that I need to use it. All right, and then we just can't be in Debian if we're going to pull Sophia in directly and have it in tree and compile it statically. Right, but the problem is then we just can't be in Debian and a lot of other distros. I'm not sure they do. And if they do, they're very few and far in between. That said, maybe it's better that way, right? and because that way users would forced to be used the flat pack. The flat pack is a better option for most users. But either way, like regardless of what SIP library we end up using, it still looks like we have to write an ass ton of code. Full stop. Right? So if I have to write an ass ton of code, why wouldn't I write a bit more code and then just not have to deal with any of the bullshit of another library and packaging and stuff like that? Okay, then show me an example. I'm not saying you have to write it, but help me find an example of how to make the Sophia work the way I need it to. One ass ton versus three ass tons. Yeah. I mean, plugin library, SASL library, utility library, XMPP library, IRC library, MDNS library, Matrix library, SQLite library, Net Traversal library. What the hell does it matter if I had a SIP library? Right? It's well, I'm trying to make that call, but like you're giving me vague reasons that aren't helpful one way or another. I'm not saying you're not trying, right? It just okay. So like we don't have to integrate with all the different phones and everything else, right? Our main instances are FreeSwitch, OpenSIPs, Kamailio, Asterix. If we work with those, we get 90% of the market, right? How's it going, Subuntu? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I mean, welcome to programming, SWK, right? People fuck up hello world. I will make ridiculous, stupid typos all day today. But I'll indulge you. How are people fucking it up using the exact same library? Because they're missing additional tags and stuff like that. Well, that tag interface isn't very welcoming in Sophia. It's hard to follow. Maybe I haven't found the right tutorials. I don't know. Oh, this is verb count property change. Um, but then there's the whole thing about packaging, distribution, building dependencies, all that, right? And just there's many things. But the user agent header couldn't have more than one semicolon because the Sophia SIP documentation example user only had one semicolon. Okay, well some people are dumb. That like a library implementation isn't the spec. And obviously people aren't going to implement to the spec, right? That's a problem too. Okay, but like that sounds like a disagreement and not a problem with the library. That's a dumbass implementer. Okay, I mean it happens, right? Not lowercase. Yeah, no, I understand. I understand completely. Um, Well, I mean, this is why, like, I never remember this site. Something docs.horse or horse.docs, ircdocs.horse. And if we go back here and we look at, where is it? Oh, I'm still under IRC, under modern. Right. Okay. Here's all right. What are the color codes again? I think it's red or conflicts. Right. Okay. Well, I know. Red denotes conflicting numeric definition. Gray for deprecated. Right. So like this is just a rough idea of what the IRC stuff looks like. Right. And I'm not saying to compare, but I'm saying this isn't just it happens everywhere. Right. Wherever somebody can write their own stuff, it happens. Right. We used to run into this all the time with XMPP. We're now running into it again because of AIM and people creating their own AIM servers and stuff. The company sucks. All right, sure. Like, to be clear, like, I'm really trying to find a reason to not write my own SIP library. I haven't started it yet. I don't want to start it. The problem is I can't, like, I don't see another way forward. I'm trying to find that other way, and I can't find it. Right? And that's why it sucks and why I don't want to work on it, because it's just like, yep, I really don't want to rewrite this whole damn thing. But I feel like if we go through... I haven't even looked at this yet, but if we... I know there's tests in here. I don't know how well they are. I don't know how much coverage they have. Okay, well, that's not going to do it. I was looking... Yeah, okay. Oh, we'd have to get our stream stuff done, most likely, to make this work, right? But, like, if we can implement the unit test of validating the right message format and sending stuff the right way, sure. Yeah, I understand that. That's what a library is supposed to do, man. The problem is all the stuff the NUA's not doing for me that is going to be a pain in my ass. Not to mention, there's the the binary targets for Windows. How do I build on Windows? How do I do this? How do I do that? How do I distribute? Can I distribute? Right? So license is compatible. I can distribute, but I have to build my own Windows artifacts based on an auto tools that is if you don't use it inside a FreeSwitch. We're not building with MSVC, or we're most likely not building with MSVC. We will most likely build with Minghui using Mason from command prompt. Yeah, I know. That's why back in the day we used Minghui with separate make files. But this is again another reason why we would take the packaging for Sophia and turn it into Mason, because Mason works everywhere. And then we can pull it as a sub-project and we can build it as part of our build. But Sophia still has a bunch of weird crap with depending on config.h in header files, which is something you're not supposed to do. So that's something we already have to work around. Right? I'm not trying to convince you. I'm stating these are issues we have found so far, right? So there's a lot more than the NUA will do these things for us, because there's a bunch of other shit that we have to do anyways. And at this point, it's a whole lot of like, which again, like I said, which way do we go? I started looking at ExoZip a bit, and that might be an option too. But we'll see. Exosip has similar problems where it pulls in the world that has all its dependencies because it wants to be its whole solution. That's fine, I get that. But that's not what we necessarily need or want. And I don't know how configurable the build is for it. Was this? I thought this was on Savannah. Okay, well, they still link there. Okay. Oh, but this hasn't been touched in 13 years. Is this still up to date? And so I thought, oh, yeah. I thought they pushed a newer version somewhat soon. Well, that's lovely. Okay, so 2021's not horribly bad. But again, auto tools, which is a problem. It's not a huge problem, but we would replace auto tools. It's old school 3 claws or new school 3 claws? We're GPL. We should be able to pull that in. Yeah, yeah, because it used to be BSD 3 claws and BSD 4 claws, and then they dropped the advertisement clause, so everything went down a clause. Right? At least I thought that was the case. I could be wrong. Right, I thought the advertising clause was what made it not GPL compatible. Doesn't contain RTP, good. Audio interface, good. STP negotiation, that's gonna suck, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, like this feels more like what we need. The question is, what are the dependencies? Which, of course, aren't listed in the make file. That's fine. I'm not judging. We don't do it either. Because it's a pain in the ass. What is it? It's like package check module. Does this... Exosip's not in here, right? But then this becomes the other problem. Is it's not in Debian and probably not in other distros. Okay, let's just try Exosip. Okay, that looks better. Alpine. I was in Debian 10. I got dropped after Debian 10. I think. That says 4.1.0. What is this? Oh, this is 5.3. So CMake is doable because there's a wrapper mod, or you can just use CMake subprojects in Mason. There's experimental support for auto tools, but auto tools being what it is, it's difficult for it to work around it. Just because it's like auto tools is kind of just like a lot of glue, right? Whereas CMake, Mason, XMake, Premake, etc. are more designed. Let's go with that. Yeah. So BSD or FreeBSD, no OpenBSD. That's not surprising. But no Debian, no Ubuntu, and did it look like, yeah, it got dropped out of Fedora as well. Doesn't feel good to pull in a dependency that got dropped from distros, right? And since BearSip is built on top of ExoSip, same problem, right? So I don't know. We'll have to let this percolate some more, but I'm hoping we can come up with something that will work and work okay. Um, there's nothing about parsing in here, is there? Doesn't look like it from here. All right, so a better question for you. Is there a collection of messages and or um I can't think of the right word. Is transaction the right word? Um for testing completeness, accuracy? I thought there was something about PJ SIP which was still a problem. And Polly was just asking about PJ SIP in on YouTube too. Well, it can't be right. So probably better luck with PJ. Or not, because of brother printers. Lib PJ SIP. I think, is that the one we were just looking at? I don't know. Guessing not. Or no, I think that actually was. Right, so that becomes a problem of it's not even on Repoology. Which means we would then have to carry the whole thing ourselves. Like, I know I looked at this like 10 years ago, trying to use it from Python or something, and ran into issues. I don't remember why. Oh, is it PJ Project? Could be. I totally forgot that that was part of the name. Okay, Alpine, Crux, no Debian, EPL, still in Fedora. FreeBSD, but it's behind by a minor. Then OpenBSD. Okay, this is more whatever. This is a bigger pro, right? Um, yeah, got dropped out of Ubuntu 18. Um, So I don't know. Maybe PJ's the way to go. Maybe. I don't know. Right. The real question is, are we going to be able to run multiple lines off of one port? Right. How well does it integrate with the glib or with the with the glib main loop, that kind of stuff? So the violet-headed hummingbird class Gooey Medi something is a purple flower nectar sipper. You know, I may have already looked up birds that are sip water. That's really funny though. The problem is, so you'd have to go with like Guameti or something, but yeah. There are tons of lines off of one port. Okay, then that's definite plus again. So then the question becomes, how can I integrate this with the glib main loop? And that's not necessarily a huge problem, but it's something that needs to be figured out. And then on Debian, it's going to be a fun time. PJ sip glib main. Multiple lines, users, whatever on one port. Okay. Because like I've been saying, right? Like the majority of people who are using Pidgin, they're not. It's going to be hard enough to get them to forward one port to make SIP work, and to like we'll give them the option to do multiple, right? To do a separate port for each thing, but um, like it. We're not trying to teach people how networking works, too, right? Like that's not our bag. Multiple, yeah. Turn on, yeah. Well, great. That'll fix Mac users. What about everybody else? I know these are all separate parts, but GStreamer, Traversity, this is the part we're missing. This is where the problem keeps coming from. Because we're a multi-protocol client, we have all of these different pieces for all of the different protocols. So when a protocol comes with everything, that becomes a problem. There's only one species in the genus Claeus. I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure. Right, but like I'm not going to name it violet-headed hummingbird because that's too much. But turn it off how? Because the option is compiler option, that's not going to fly for most distros. Which that means we have to vendor it, which most distros don't want you to do. So you just, yeah. Great, that's okay. I don't care about any of that right now. All right, so an endpoint here. is a device or application. It's not necessarily what you would call a SIP endpoint in my experience. Yeah, I mean that's part of the problem is everyone's trying to include everything. Um, but like Sophia, like I said, the part of the problem with the Sophia stuff is it pulls in a bunch of redundant, not redundant, but a bunch of duplicate dependencies, which we then have to carry and build for Windows and Mac, which is less than ideal. I'm not saying it's a showstopper. I'm saying it sucks, right? It's work that I'd rather not do. Is this C++? Yeah, this has got to be C++. Um, is PJ C++ or is it C? I thought it was C. That's C++. Like, my C++ sucks. Full stop. And I really do not want to write C++ if I don't have to. It was not fun trying to do 3D printing in a place where the humidity is 94%. It's not even to the hot and humid part of the year yet. Yeah, that's why all of my printers and stuff are enclosed now. So a hydrometer on top of one of my printers that I can see from here says 47% humidity right now. Wonderground.com feels like 40. Where's humidity? Like it's 40F out. For those of you who don't use Freedom units, it's 7. Humidity 87% outside. We have a 100% chance of rain tomorrow, right? So in my office here right now, the hydrometer outside of any humidity treatment says 47. Inside my AMS, it is 11% humidity, which is like every single one of my filaments, which is not in an AMS, is in one of these. And not overhead. 14% humidity. The orange thing in there, I'll pop it out. Boom, silica beads. Once I started actually trying to deal with humidity for my filament and everything, my prints got way more stable. So my printers are fully enclosed. I mean, humidity is not really a problem. The temperature gets high in them, but yeah. Muskie, I didn't get hit at all with the hail. Luckily, somehow. The rain was a bit crazy for like half an hour, and then it was just thunder and lightning galore with light rain. It's 80 and 75% out right now. Will be higher tomorrow. Wow. You need one of what? An AMS? So the AMS this is all Bamboo Lab stuff, but there's other ones. I mean, there's all sorts of dry boxes and stuff now. But so the AMSs are automated material systems, Blink, these guys. So I've got extra silica in here, stuff like that, hydrometers, blah, blah, blah. But so this is an X1 carbon. I have a P1S. I have 2 P1Ss, but I have 2 of these attached to each of them. So, right. So I've got extra things that sit here and here inside of it that have silica beads. There's also silica beads under the spools. They usually just give you a silica packet, but I do the beads. And then I have a hydrometer right here too. Sorry, somebody needs his medicine, and he finally came to say hi. Yeah, hi, mister. Come on. Take your medicine. Which arrow on my screen? Got a modified food dehydrator for filament dryer? Okay, I can see that. I'll go back to the weather page. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's all your MSs too? Yeah. Yeah. The silica beads do so much better than the silica packets. 1, 2, 3. Come on. 4, 5. Sorry, I gotta get in this. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. One more. 15. There you go. Yeah. Oh, cool. We got the big old eye goop. Looks like you had a treat in your eye. There you go. Oh, this one. Yeah, I mean, you can also there's also models for hydrometers with silica beads in them too. I've got green orange beads. Yeah, so I've been intending to do a blog post. I have all the pictures on my phone of my entire process. But basically, I used little Pyrex cups, I guess, that are 2 cups. And I put 1 cup of beads in, throw it in the microwave and dehydrating for 10 minutes. 5-minute mark, take it out, stir it around, put it back in. In the meantime, while that's going, I have 2 other bowls that are moving back, that are swapping in and out of the freezer. So when the beads finish in the microwave, I dump them into one of the cold cups. That helps zap up the heat faster. And then I put that back in the freezer to cool. And then I put the next round into the microwave for 10 minutes. And with like 2 minutes to spare or something, I'll take the old beads out of the beads that are in the freezer out. And then I'm able to handle them and put them back into storage. And then I just keep repeating that. But one of the key things most people don't realize is when you're dealing with the silica beads, if you're pouring them or anything, especially if you're pouring them into a flat surface, don't. Because they bounce really high and they're really small. So when I pour them into the little Pyrex containers, I'll put a paper towel down and I'll pour onto that, and then that absorbs all of the inertia. Yeah. So, all right, I think they should have backed up, but whatever. Like last time I did this, I took pictures of everything so that I could write a blog post, and I just haven't written the post yet. But yeah, so like, also only use. Oh yeah, so there's the jar with a paper towel on it, and you pour onto the paper towel to the, just, you know, roll them in. The other thing is, do not under any circumstance use anything plastic. The first time I tried to use like a plastic knife or a plastic spoon, I don't remember, to stir them to try to dissipate heat, it melted the fucking spoon. And then the fuckers get hot. Real hot. But yeah, so this is my good beads right now. Yes, this is 7 pounds, right? Yeah, 7.5 pounds, 1 gallon. You can see that most of them are in use right now. So, but yeah, when they're cool, I'll funnel them back into that thing. But the thing is, they gotta get cool first. You're lost? It's okay. Just you don't have to get recyclable silica beads. You can just get silica packets too, just if you want to get something started. But it'll do both. It'll do both. So the silica stuff, it's the same shit you find in like beef jerky packets, stuff like that, that keeps moisture out. That's what the silica beads are, right? It's silica or desiccant, whatever you want to call it. All they do is they absorb everything. And the thing about the beads is they're reusable. So they start as orange. Okay, let's do this. Oh, this might not work. We'll see. The chroma key might become a problem. Or actually, let me do this. Okay. So, yeah. So, notice the color difference between these. I'm going to regret this. Okay. Do you see how much brighter these are than these? These are bad ones that need to be recharged, right? So here, I'm going to pluck those right there. Okay, you can't really see them, but I put them right there. It's like right there, right? So you can like these dead beads aren't real bad. They will get blue or green rather. But it takes time. Actually, I can probably find some that are real bad. Okay, so 33. Oh yeah. These beads are dead. Right? Okay, so it's hard. Yeah. You see how bad they are? So, even compared to this, right? So here's these. Here's the bad ones. Very clearly bad. Not bad. They're just exhausted, right? They've got to be recharged. So, this isn't going to happen immediately or anything, but I'm going to fill this guy up with fresh beads. Right? So, same container. Look how much brighter those are. Nice, nice. Good times, right? Put that in my spool here. Cap it off. Also, these containers are 3D printed too. Drop it in. Seal her up. That's at 38 right now. Okay. We'll just leave this here. We'll check it periodically throughout the stream. Okay, that doesn't work for you guys. But yeah, okay, now it's even up to 39. It's if anything, it'll probably get down to 30 max over the next hour. But it's gonna start doing better, right? It's gonna start pulling all that humidity out. But like, if you want to do filament drying, there's all sorts of different ways to do that too. Yeah, the microwaving is to recharge them, right? So like to turn those green beads back to orange, that's when you microwave them. So, oh, it's out of frame now. Fine, whatever. It's upside down. I don't care. All right, we're still at 39, but yeah, whatever. We can check it back later on it. Boom, 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 boom. You're staying for the 3D printing? Well, if you look here, you can get boom. I've 3D printed a shit ton of keychains and magnets. And by shit ton, I mean, what kind of colors you want? You're still use filament, vacuum sealed, like a food saver, then you dry it before you use it in modified food. Yeah. Like, that's cool. I do not want to put that much effort into it. About once or twice a year, I go through and swap out the silica, and I'm good so far. Although I did just have to burn through 2 filaments because I don't know, something happened to them. I think they were old too. They kept getting brittle and cracking, even though they were at a decent humidity. But they would break in the AMS. So then you have to take the AMS apart to get the filament out, and yeah, brittle is wet. Yeah, yeah. I it didn't matter how much silica I put in there and what the hydrometer said, it would still just snap. So like they were in my AMS. My AMS was reading 10% humidity. That's as far as low as the hydrometers go, I'm sure, because that's what everybody seemed to only get to that. Yeah, so I would have had to cook it, but what ended up happening was as long as I kept using it, it was fine. So I just threw off a bunch of prints and I dropped them. A friend of mine has a little free art gallery, and I'll just drop 3D printed stuff in there. So I did some water lily thing. Actually, it's probably easier to do it this way. So I was trying to figure out stuff for Mother's Day, and one of the things I ended up with was this water lily looking thing. I don't think I saved any of them. Yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah. So what is this? Switch now. Switch now. Fine. Jesus. Right. So I printed off a bunch of these. So the filaments that were busted were green and pink. So a bunch of I printed off a bunch of these in green and pink, just until I exhausted the filament. Start printing Xmas trees for next Christmas. I usually start Christmas around Halloween, and I'll try to do Halloween before that. But yeah. So I was trying to find something for Mother's Day. I ended up giving the moms in my life sunflowers. I started planting. I started growing. I got the seeds from a local from a library. They had a little seed library. I was gonna put them outside, but I was like, I don't have anything to give the moms for Mother's Day, and I'm broke, so I gave them sunflowers that I grew, which hadn't bloomed yet. But yeah. Oh, you want to have several thousand of them? Oh, geez. Oh, that's right. I was thinking they were one thing, but then I remembered the picture you actually showed me, and yeah. So, all right. So Sophia Sip, or not Sophia Sip, PJ Sip might be an option. Might be. I don't know. We'd have to figure out dependencies. This was on the GitHubs. Where was the GitHubs? Because the build system is Auto Tools. Right, so that's the Auto Tools problem. Although there's a static make file here. But if this is C++, dude, I do not want to write C++. Like, full stop. Wait, what? Okay, so there's both. Maybe? Okay, so there's an endpoint API in C. But there's a C++ wrapper. Okay, that's not horrible. But we'll see. So PJ Sip looks like it's going to be the front runner, which sucks. I wanted to use Sophia because it already has the glib stuff. The glib main loop stuff, which we're going to have to figure out for PJ Sip. But the other option is the right one. They went over great last Christmas. I'm sure they did. Did you coat them in silicone first? You entered them to Maker's Holiday Decoration Contest. And while they didn't win any of the voting, every time someone discussed the entries, yours got the most talk. I'll just say they look like plugs. Just gonna put it, that's it. You DM'd on an image? Okay. I think the one you showed me was like next to like a Mountain Dew can or something for scale. I don't remember precisely. That was a while ago. All right, where were we? We did notification manager, right? I think so. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. We were talking about it at some point, and you're like, "Hold on, let me just show you." And I'm like, "Oh, like yes, that would, yeah." 7-inch speed square for scale. Oh boy. Oh. See, already 36. We're already down 3 percentage points for humidity just by swapping those silica beads. Like I said, it's not going to be instantaneous or anything, but it's pretty fast. You know, and over time, those things are just going to suck stuff up, and I should probably swap them out right away, right? Get them down to the level and then put new ones in because those are spent already, right? And then go from there. But you can tell. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's not the picture you showed me, but yeah. At least you're honest about it. 117. Oh, Swills, did you see my question about C advisor? yeah, precisely, right? What in the fuck? Oh goodness. All right. This is avatar counter and GU int. Okay, yeah. Avatar for display counter. Giggle about the bookmark. I made the 75-year-old granny. Oh boy. Oh, the bookmark you made. 75. Okay, I don't want to know. I think I'm good. Say it was very phallic. It says, I don't watch porn. I read it like a fucking lady. Oh, jeez. It was a commission. Wow. Oh, okay. But yeah, so anyways, does anybody use C Advisor for getting metrics on containers? I somehow have never come across it until today. I know you don't use containers. That's why I said anyone. This should contact infos have a reference to the person, so the easiest way to remove that is to remove them from the person. Let's clean it. Make sure the person's avatar. All right, this is on person itself. You've heard of C-Advisor, but don't use it. Use the metrics API and get lots of container metrics in Grafana. Yeah, so my issue is I need to get metrics from Docker. At least in one use case. So yeah. Docker's the crutch of the week that can't multi-thread. Okay. Or the people that want to vendor the world. Or not give a shit about the host OS, which is the way we use it. Because, yeah. Verb count. Property change. G object. Avatar. Come on, avatar for display. I think that's right. You want to use your entire CPU, not just one core at a time? Yeah, well, don't use Node. You broke a vendor's library the other day? Nice. Don't use Node or any interpreted language on the server side? I mean, PHP's okay. I should have timed that better, so it would have went right to the ad. The ad starts in 45 seconds. But that's it. Like, I don't have any beef with PHP. PHP's fine. Oh, it's supposed to be on the person. Oh, this is the avatar. Oh, it's the person. The avatar doesn't even exist yet. What am I doing? You're building against it and ran make test. It's seg faulted. Sent the backtrace to the vendor. They complained. You have too many cores. Oh, wow. Let's just rename this to counter. Pretty horrible programming. I love how it was supposed to be a backronym for personal homepages or something. Somebody else has to remember that besides me. No, it wasn't personal homepages. It was like... I don't remember. You don't use Happy Hack? God, do you even computer? We don't check. Make sure the person's alias is overriding the contact info. This should be avatar. And counter should probably be gassert compare you and counter equals 1. Wait, what? No, that's fine. Okay, yep. And counter becomes 0. This is just weird because we don't have to worry about resetting this here because we reset it before we do anything else. PHP hypertext preprocessor. Okay. I thought there was something about home pages in there or something. But maybe that was just the idea 20 years ago. I don't know. Who? God, who did all this stuff? Verb count property. Oh, fuck, it's supposed to be property changed. Color counter. Verb count, property change, G object, person, color for display. Whatever languages are inefficient, that's all. I mean, it's like all things, it's got trade-offs, right? Like inefficient when it comes to being able to handle many things, but efficient in that it's easier to write. In some cases, deploy, right? And everyone has to decide which of those trade-offs to make. Most people use modern JIT interpreters. Take that with long running yeah. What? You don't like fast CGI? What did it ever do to you? No, I've heard a lot of people enjoy Laravel, but I don't know. I haven't used it myself, so I don't know. Make sure the person's color is overriding the contact info. Oh, right. Okay, so we set the we had the contact info, we set the color on the contact info, and our stuff didn't get called. Good, 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 good. Use Laravel for some stuff at work. You know with it? I mean, to be fair, the last time I wrote any significant amount of PHP, it was PHP 4. Like, I don't even think 5 was out yet. Maybe 5 had just come out. Right? Here, this is a good one. Shit, where is it? There's a file in here. Yeah. So, did you catch the extension? PHP 3? I did not write this, but yeah. So, if AOL ever breaks the script, uncomment the lines below and fill in the appropriate values for the hash. That way, at least people can use game. Huh. Yeah, so this script, like, so if anybody's read, there was some blog post or article or something about the IM wars of interoperability between MSN and AIM, and MSN gave up when AOL exploited a buffer overflow in their own project and their own application to read bytes of memory from the application to validate that it was the right application. So, all right, cool. What we did for this was we just hosted the binary and put a PHP script in front of it. So we would then tell this where to read it, right? So, don't tell it we use that, grab that. If the given offset or length is larger than the size of the file, it's an invalid request. So we hash the request. There's got to be a prettier way, blah, 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 whatever, right? So we we would just take we would read it on the other side. I don't remember how the other side of this worked. But yeah, then this would just read through the code and return the bytes from the hosted binary. We didn't do anything wrong. We didn't distribute their binary, but we used a copy of it. I'm guessing this is on SourceForge. Because of the directory here, or the directory structure. But yeah, that's what this did, right? So like SWK, when you're like, well, this vendor doesn't do that. This is the kind of shit we've done back in the day to keep shit running. So it's like, oh no, right? Essentially, if they give us a bogus file name, we hash the module name plus the offset and length and return that. Pretty fun stuff. Yeah. And like, this is just rebuilding an int. Or building two. Yeah, and then we spit this back out. I don't know. Oh, what? Yep, okay. Whoever wrote this manually wrapped it with spaces? Whatever. But yeah, we just pack the integers in, pass them to MD5, or no, take the MD5, pack it into whatever H star is, and we print that out, and voila, boom, there you go. Well, yeah, like I said, this whole thing was to work around the AOL crap, which, they exploited a buffer overflow to read their own shit. Or maybe it wasn't a buffer overflow. Maybe they wrote API to do it at this point. I don't know, right? But yeah. Well, what is game 0.75.patch? Something to fix Yahoo. Oh, was this a Yahoo fix thing that we worked with Trillion with to get fixed? Yeah, it sure looks like it. Write our own function to export hex. Sure, why not? Let's go on sugar-free streaming. That's old school copy protect. Yeah, yeah. Just the amount of shit we've been through. Oh boy, what's in this directory? Oh, so I got a little obsessed with XSL or XSL or what does it stand for? XML style sheets, something, and transforms. So like the SourceForge issue tracker sucked real bad. And apparently I was just putting random bugs in here. I thought this was specifically maybe the starter for the WYSIWYG stuff. But anyways, so if you say XSLTproc and you type in bugs.xml with game.xsl, that's going to give you an HTML page. All right, so this path, foo.html. What did I save it as? Oh, I'm dumb. So this style sheet just took that XML file and turned it into this HTML page. Yep. And it's loading a CSS file too. Yeah, I don't know why I had all this shit here, but yeah. So found by, found on, fixed by, fixed on. I don't know why I started doing all this stuff here. But, yep. Never given tab as focus as someone types something, their name in the tab becomes red, which is a little off, but fine. But if you send a response, it doesn't change from red, and in theory it should. Yep. Apparently this file can almost drink. Looking at this XSL, I'm sure I'd probably rewrite it a whole bunch of different ways now. I mean, that's whatever. That's not what I want. Just go fucking issues. Get rid of this. So this will say, I thought it normally says it up here. Oh, so we have 1,926 issues open. We have 17,717 total. So like I saw Daniel Stenberg posted that curl passed 5,000 bugs, and I'm like, ooh, like it's not a small achievement, but I'm like, yeah, we're at triple that. No. I guess I want to go this way. I want to search by Pidgin. And then I want to sort by ID. So we pulled in all of our tickets from track, from developer.pidgin.im into utrack. And we tried to save as much data as we could. So the first ticket in track was entered on October 24th of 2006. And it is still live, and I mean it's not open, but it's still available in our issue tracker. We removed all the authors because we didn't want to bring other people around, or we didn't want to bring people across to another service without their consent, and we didn't want to go through and ask everyone for their consent either. We gave up on trying to get formatting right because that was just a fucking waste of time. But you know, we pulled everything in. So like if you developer, this is still up. At some point we need to take this down. I'm trying to think. Roadmap for 3.0. So, right. So this goes to ticket 3034, right? So you see the URL in the bottom left if you can. It says developer.pidgin.im ticket 3034. You click on this, through the magic of URL redirects, it takes you to the issue now in utrack. Support for proxy autoconfig scripts, which this was supposed to be support for proxy autoconfig scripts, right? So we kept all of these links working, which is fucking bonkers, but yeah. So, yep. Here's a list. All GTK widgets are for GObjects. GObject provides 4 things: reference counting, inheritance, properties, signals. What else did I say about properties? Because I know a lot more now than I did then. If you think of data structures and see they contain individual members of various types, for example, the mythical human being data structure, enum, human female. Well, that was a very different time. That first name, last name, height, and gender, that's not even necessarily true anymore. I mean, it wasn't even back then, right? Good access to data structure like blah, 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 something. This doesn't look too appealing. But consider each subclass GObject has new properties, list of properties of its parent class. So by the time you get to say GTK window, you can do something really cool like, I don't know why. I'm guessing I'm the one that wrote most of this. Last modified. Oh, by Nix. Huh. Okay, maybe I didn't write this. Good. But yeah, so this was all trying to get us to geobjectification for Pidgin 3, and this is this is our white whale. But yeah, so the signal's different than what we have, than our own signals, stuff like that, right? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. But yeah. So, yeah. Who is Nix? I don't know who went by Nix. At least I don't remember. But yeah, so this is all here. This is all still live. I went through and I had wget crawl this. I took the site and I ran it locally. And then I used wget to crawl it and turn it into a static site. And then I took all those files and I put them in a container with Nginx in front of them, and I threw it up in Kubernetes. And that is how developer.pidgin.im works today. Because, yeah, that's how you do it. It's all fine. All right, anyways, let's actually get this shit going. Good. Well, I mean, track was getting absolutely decimated by anything because track, not trying to shame anyone or anything, but the track database design was not good. It's like just full stop, not good. Oops. But actually, maybe I didn't run it locally, because then URLs wouldn't have worked. I might have actually hit the site. I don't remember. And then I did a couple passes with it or something. I don't remember. I did it a while ago, and I got it to work, and I was like, sweet, now we're good. Oh, God. Ugh. Okay, XSL output HTML. We match everything. Oh, yeah. I would... I would do this much differently now. I have a bunch of crazy stuff for GIR, which we don't really use, but we can. But like, if you want to take a GIR file and turn it into UML diagrams, here you go. All right, using variables for new lines and tabs, so everything gets pretty printed out. This will take a GIR, a GObject introspection repository, which is an XML file, and turn it into multiple graphviz dot files that you can then turn into pings or whatever, and go from there. Yeah, and then this is also reading through that whole thing. Why can't I zoom? I can pan here. All right, so there's everything that at the time to send it off a GObject, and there's purple request field. G plugin, plugin info, right? This is all just generated out of the XML file. So one of the things I like to do a lot, as you can tell, so the object hierarchy, it reads through the whole thing and then it spits out graphviz. Yes, ultimate markup language. Come on. But yeah, what this actually looks like, how's this work again? All right, well, let's see. So if we access, let's make directory t cdt xs lt proc tilde lp Pidgin lib perp build lib purple 3.0.gir .gir to uml. Oh, I've got it backwards. Right. So then, let's do dot minus t xlib message dot, and boom, there's the UML for purple message, pulled out of an XML file, turned into GraphViz, and voila. Used to be really confused as sysadmin who worked with programmers who only produced UML diagrams. Weird. There's got to be. I guess I didn't have. Yeah, we could do that other ways. But what's the word? Visibility? Is that the right word? Message should have been one to have a bunch of that. Let's just try presence. Yeah, there's no visibility stuff here, but yep. So here's the properties. Here's the methods. Voila. Nothing to it. Yeah, so we can do object hierarchy too. So cdt, this is lt proc, object hierarchy.xsl lp Pidgin build lib purple 3.0.gir. So that spit out this, right? That's the diagram. Pipe to dot minus t xlib. Voila, there we go. Here's the updated version. And just to show you how much crazier this can get too, instead of purple, let's go grab ibis. Yep, works on any GIR file. That's the cool part. So they were the smart ones, and I was just this dumb guy who had to deal with EXFS and ClearCase. Oh, ClearCase, you poor bastard. You didn't have to touch doors, did you? But yeah, so this stuff is fun. I don't know. I like messing with this stuff. I also have this GIR lint thing. We do run this in version control too. And this will go through and look for problems in the GIR file. So the GIR files too. Right? This is just a giant XML file with everything about the API. And this is how G-object introspection works. So, like, what will happen with a G-object introspection loader? Like, you will build something that can read these files in another language and then know what the C types are. Where's a function or a method? Right? So then with a method, you got the C identifier. So when you're setting up foreign function interface, this is what you're calling. Right? And so earlier up, you know that, so this method name is get command, right? And this is on a class of CTCP message. So, you know, you have a type of CTCP message, and then you say .get command, and then you call it, you map it to that one, and blah, blah, blah. And since you're building against the XML format for the data, there's also a binary format too. And then you can just call whatever the fuck you want, right? This is how we get free language bindings. It's just It's there. It's standard format. Everyone uses it. It's good to go. So it makes sense to build other tools on top of it. It's going to be all broken because, yep, we got 1 million to go yet. That's fine. 119. We missed that one somehow. That was supposed to be counter. Do you actually miss doors, or does doors just make you cry? Because that could go either way. Oh, I misspelled this in other fun ways. I have to diff this file too, because I got some other mistakes in here. God, I did a bad job of fixing these. Yeah, I never actually had to use doors, but I have heard horror stories about it. I have a feeling I missed, I've got an indentation problem somewhere. Oh, that one looks okay. Alright, I guess I fixed them all. Where are we? We are on 229. Verb, count, property change, G object, person, color for display, counter. I'd like to imagine one day the developers of Doors learning about mock ports. Huh. I don't know that reference. I don't know how those two things make sense. Not your fault. I don't know. I'm dumb. Again, like I said, I know of Doors, but I know that I've never used it. And mock ports, not sure. Oh, machine ports. Okay, I know what a port is, assuming you're talking about like a TCP or UDP port. But I still don't know the reference to Doors. Or oh, I'm talking about Rational Doors by IBM. In mock, a port is a protected message queue for communication between tasks. Task on and send and receive. Right. Oh, okay. We're talking about different things because I'm talking about this Doors. Yeah, sorry, not networking. Yeah. I never spent much time with Solaris. The only time I spent with Solaris was since Solaris 10. Solaris 10 or newer, so I'm a baby Sun user. And for whatever reason, disk slices still mess with my brain and they don't make sense. I'll probably do better now, but I did not do good back then. I did real bad back then with disk slices. Yes, that too. Slow Eris. But it has an ultra spark because it's moving so slow. No, it's because it's dragging its ass across the ground. Person. Name for display. Counter. Oh yeah, IPC max. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. This should reset this. Counter equals 0. This should say counter equals 1. For whatever reason, when I first started doing this, the idea was, oh, we'll just keep track of the counter or whatever. But it makes so much more sense to reset it and then make your change and then make sure you'd only change the number of times you're expecting. Because, yeah, I don't know. I was dumb when I did this originally. It happens. It's called iterative updates. Actually, the very first iteration, why all these are named called, is they used to be booleans. And I was like, wait, I think this is getting called twice. So we were debugging it or something one time. And it was just like, oh, we should make these counters. And then, oh, it got, yeah, much more interesting. Verb count list model items changed. G list model person, comma counter. Didn't we add? I think we did. Verb list. Yeah, we have verb assert list models items. List model, or is it n items? Yeah. Excuse me. And then the model. I don't think we have to cast this. I think we can say person, comma 0. Verb assert list model n items person, comma 1. And then this becomes counter. Counter. Okay, counter over 0. We didn't check it yet. Okay. We'll reset counter to 0. We remove them. It's like, why isn't this matching? I type bird. At some point, I think I still want to play with like an older Unix, but then I'm just like, I got better things to do. Oh, what's the I'm sure somebody here knows. What's the name of the stupid GUI flying around 3D file manager they used in Jurassic Park that from SGI? I used to know the name and I can't remember what it was. I doubt it's mock. There's one called mock for Mac. Which no, that's not the 3D flying around one. FSN apparently. So close to Flying Spaghetti Monster. Yeah, an IRIX. Apparently it's FSN. Just purple item change. Yeah. Okay. Oh, right. That's what we're expecting. 350H right here. Right. Counter. Verb count. List model items changed. G list model person. Verb assert list model and items person I. Verb assert list model and items person I plus 1. Yeah, I know they use mmap and matrix. They also use some exploit called SSH nuke. That used to be one of the reasons I really admired the Matrix, was like they actually tried to get hacking decently right. Oh, we're down to 33% now. So, Swells, if you had any disbelief... Oh, you can't read that. 33% now. Yeah, it's gone down 6 percentage points already. Like I said, it's not going to go super quick, but it's relatively fast, all things considered. Like, it takes some time, but it's not so bad. But yes, this is why we go through this hassle. Oh, here, for comparison. So 33 in the container, 47 outside of the container. And we'll leave those two right next to each other so that they can get there. A lot quicker than your heat-based drive. Really? What is some kernel code in Linux using SE Linux and LSM? How SE Linux works in security layer and FreeBSD? Yeah, I don't think anybody except the NSA knows how SE Linux works. I say NSA for those of you that don't know because it was apparently the NSA who wrote SE Linux, unless I am totally wrong, but I believe that is true. Somebody here surely knows the proper answer to that. I'm correct on SE Linux? Okay, yeah. Well, I'm confident, but there's always that shaded out. Yeah, I don't know anybody that does care for SE Linux, and or anybody that's ever cared for SE Linux even. What the hell is the Ubuntu thing called? App Armor is also weird, and it's not as bad, but it's got a lot of weird quirks to it too. James Morrison, Microsoft leads it now? Interesting to know that. You don't love SE Linux? You're dumb? Here's your coloring book. Like, I can go color? Cool. Yay! No more responsibility! I don't have to decide what to do with SIP in Pidgin 3 anymore. I have a coloring book. Yay! Oh, there's an SE Linux coloring book? I did not know that. Sutton 40. What is the oh, it's not listed here. Is it the Z? There's a capital Z and a lowercase z on a volume mount for Docker volumes. And that's to use the same SE Linux context or whatever. Let me know how many. Guess how I found that one out. Jordan's coloring book. 16 pages. I'm kind of tempted to print this. And then bind it. Interesting. Learn as you color. It's like, it's such a fucking, like, power move. Like, aggressive dickhead power move. I almost got tired of people telling me this is too complicated. Yeah. Where's the just fucking set and force? Quick fix number 1, set and force 0. Okay, yeah, Z or capital Z. This will change the label of the files in the volume bind to contain or file T, allowing write access. The full explanation can be read in Podman Run or Docker Run man page. Change of, yeah, whatever, right? Yeah. So I've had to use this before. That's how I know it's there. Or I've had to support somebody using convey with it before, and you're just like, fuck. Alright, sure. Fine, whatever. Oh, we are not getting anywhere fast like I was hoping to tonight, but it's okay. It's fine. Don't have to get stuff fast done all the time. Although we are 5 weeks away from Experimental 3, and we are not where I want to be at all. So, yeah. Confidential computing with SE Linux is next big security, for example, Kata and gvisor for container security. Okay. I don't know. I'll worry about it when it gets here. WASM Edge. I don't know. WASM in general is just... Stop putting stuff in a fucking browser. Like, WASM as a binary target, sure, whatever. But with the intent of it running in a browser, it's just like, fucking stop. Like, I know we all joke about how Emacs and Vim, or Emacs in particular, is like an operating system. They are literally making browsers operating systems. Stop. For the love of God. Yo, WASI is much better. I don't know enough about either of them to say anything. WASM is used more in browsers than anywhere. Yeah, it just, I don't know. Like, I can see the merits to having a scripting language in a browser. I don't understand why we need native code. Like, I don't know. Just seems very, I don't know. Like, it was cool at first when they were putting Unreal Tournament into a browser. And then it was like, but why? And I feel like nobody ever answered that question. And they just kept going, because we can. Flash was better than anything out there today. At getting pwned, maybe. No. I don't know why I'm getting heartburn. Steve Jobs is under the chat. Flash had nothing on Silverlight. Now we wait for him to go, what the fuck was Silverlight? Well, those of us that know are just laughing. Wasn't Netflix originally only Silverlight? Oh, I fucked this up. Right, yeah. And then, like, I remember when Netflix finally did HTML5 and you could run it on Linux, and it was like, oh my god! Like, I was one of those weirdos who was running 64-bit Linux, but to keep Flash working, I was running 32-bit Firefox in a cheroot. I was one of those assholes. That's why people are like, oh, it's too hard to run something. And I'm like, you wouldn't have survived in the earlier days in my time. You're a bunch of shit in Flex back in the day? Oh boy. Yeah, did I get no was it did the stuff I had, was it Flex or was it ActionScript? I don't remember. Flex was the replacement for ActionScript, right? Adobe Flex. Now when we get around to Widevine, yeah. It's too hard. It's not something I have to put up with, yeah. My unit tests are too tedious for me to write, so I have AI do them. Like, really? That's your line? Wow. Like, you would not have done well back in the day. Flex and Flash were basically containers for... Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I did anything with Flex then. It's stabbing dimension of ActionScript. Talking 32-bit roots to run Flash have brought back bad memories. Yeah, you're welcome. Sorry. Not sorry. Flash ran in the Flash runtime. The real difference between Flex and Flash was Flex was more targeted at business apps. Oh, interesting. Well, it's like, you know, you had to get Shockwave too, and I was never clear on what the main difference was between Shockwave and Flash. Because, like, I don't know, like, they look the same. But yeah. It really pisses sometimes. People put Rust crap on their profile showing too love for language. You can put a C in a kernel logo. Yeah. It's just the cult of Rust, right? I mean, at the end of the day, they all act like fucking cult members. Specifically the cult members. If you like Rust and you're not preachy about it, I don't give a shit, right? You're fine, right? I don't care. But like the people that are so fucking vocal about Rust, it's like, do you have nothing better to do? Right? Like, please, for the love of God, go touch some grass. Shockwave was a superset of Flash. Oh, okay, that would make sense then. I feel like go without shining Rust these days. Did you see that blog post that was just on Hacker News, and I think I saw it from Lobsters. That it was like, why VCs are picking Rust over Go or are giving up on Go, and it just turned into a total fucking puff piece for Rust. And it was just like, you didn't actually like give any good reasons for Go, for not using Go. Like you just kind of yeah, okay, sure. Shockwave used to Flash as LDAP as to X400. Wow. Like 2 people in this room got that joke. It was all cult talk for Rust? Yeah, yeah. It was, yeah. It was just Go. It's big tech and Go, I think. Maybe it was only on Hacker News. I don't typically read Hacker News directly. I'll read Lobsters. Well, whatever. I'll at least go through the headlines on Lobsters. We are a month ago. It was not a month ago. What the fuck was the title of this article? Does anybody remember what this is called? Never used X400. Oh, you know what? I'm mixing up what X400 was. Okay, I have not used X4. Wait, no. Yeah, I have not used this. I was thinking, for some reason, I read X400, and in my brain, it was X509. So, very different things. Jesus. I'm sorted by date, right? Yeah, fuck. Well, at least there's lots to talk about Go here. I don't know. I really enjoy Go. But like, I don't know. I don't understand why people get so fucking preachy about everything in programming. Like, um, this is like last week or something when the article came out. But like, there's talk about bloom filters again too. It's like how to make the most performing cache by using bloom filters. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is it 2012 again? I don't know. I feel like C++ is getting too much added onto it. And like STL in general, people do not do good with generic programming. Like the diehard, really want to learn programmers. Yeah, they'll do okay. But like when I was in school, so many people just got destroyed by templates. Just absolutely destroyed and could not understand them. And it took so much time. It's like, dude, it's just a variable. It's fine. Oh, Rust vs. Go 2025. All right, we're gonna go 2 more pages, and then I'm giving up. All right, we'll go to page 10. Otherwise, we're gonna end at page 9, and we'll do 10. It's fine. All these people about the Go garbage collector too. Just like Jesus fucking Christ. Like if your shit is that affected by it, like find some way to make it redundant or something. But Jesus Christ. Oh no, I lost 2 nanoseconds. What am I gonna do? I can't use this anymore. It's impossible. Just like, for fuck's sake. All right, page 10. Still haven't found it. Excuse me. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. Oh, this is 22 days ago. All right, yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Somebody else can find it. I've done my time. I tried. Give you more inheritance? Yeah, bloom filters, yes. How about rewriting your transaction processing in C, but it's by faster court. Yeah, right? And it's like all things. There's multiple answers to things. But, you know, if you wrote it in Rust, it would be blazingly fast. It would just magically find and use all your cores as long as you use the right traits for it. I'm sure there's something on cargo.io for it. There's no unsafe code in Rust. Except all the unsafe blocks that you find everywhere. Rust ownership, no memory overhead as well? Yeah, I'm sure. You pay for it all while you compile. Oh look, I just played my Valgrind tithing. All right, seriously, how many more of these do we have? We just did person. All right, we gotta be. Well, we're kind of close to the end. I don't know how far. Well, why don't we just do this? Oh no, we don't search for call. We want to search for items changed. It didn't tell me how many results. Oh, 8 matches across 4 more. Okay, it's 4 more files apparently. I'm not sure I want to know where your example came from, SWK. I think I'm good. Oh, right. This one has to stay. Because it's doing other stuff. Yep, that's fine. Right. What the fuck? This is... Why are these line numbers not matched? Oh, because I think that's a problem. Okay, yep. Test conversation member. Item changed. Yeah, that's doing extra work there. Okay, that one can't change. That's the one I was thinking of before. This one, extend existing. Okay, yeah, that's doing different counts. Not just a simple count. Test presence manager. Yeah. These are... That one's got to stay because it uses our own types. That one can go away. We pull in the verb. Why are we using G standard IO here? Where you got a job and they write Go code, but they deploy to Lambda. It's not possible to debug Go code in Lambda if you're on an ARM Mac. Oh boy. And like, dude, why are people still using Lambda? Lambda is like... It's like the salesperson's wet dream. It's just like, yes, serverless. Give me all your money. It's just like, just set up a fucking VPS. Two VPSs, right? Maybe not even two, right? Just throw up a message queue. Ingest, pop it into it, read from the message queue, do the work. You can do that all in a single VPS if you want. And you will spend less money than you do on Lambda. And you can scale out at your own rate, however you want. It's just, my God. Like, I just, it's so dumb. People spend money on the worst things. There's no cloud, it's just someone else's computer. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's been around for a long time. Do you guys see my shirt today? Yeah. Like, is it backwards or not? I don't remember how you guys see it. Oh, it has to be backwards. But whatever. It says I'm not a robot. It's got a check mark. Like all the CAPTCHA things. I am now a CAPTCHA. Assert list model and items. Manager 2. You have a few versions of the cloud shirt, or I'm not a robot? I'm guessing the cloud one. That is not how you spell counter. It's still not how. Nope, nope. Cloud one, gotcha. Verb assert list model and items. Manager 3. Counter should have gotten reset. So we checked counter here. Then we removed it. So we want to say counter equals 0. Jeez, I don't know why I keep getting right shifted on that hand. We did renamed counter, yeah. Verb assert list model and items manager 2. That probably got rid of the length argument. We're not on person anymore. We are on presence manager. What are we at? 46 for humidity over here, still at 33. It's going to take a while to zap out the rest of that, but yep, length's not used anymore. Verb count list. Oh, it's list model items changed. $79. Yep, that's supposed to be an ampersand. So this is kind of an annoying commit, but it's okay, right? We're just maintenance. I didn't expect you to take all night, but, you know, we're having a good time. We're chatting. It's cool. It's cool, cool, cool. All right, let's presence manager, test a batch. Oh, that's an Ibis. That is not our problem. All right, cool. Ninja Turtles. So I was hoping we could get to some fuzzing stuff tonight. I want to try to get the fuzzing stuff going more. I've got to do some more reading. I did get fuzzing working in Ibis a little bit. But I think I have the corpus messed up. And I have to fix the corpus. The Corpus Christi's. And I'm not sure of... So, let's just make this a pull request. We'll land the verb commit to, and then we'll look at that real quick. Oh. Verb 0.4. 0.4, and use the testing helpers in the purple. Oh, it's only been 2 or 3 hours? Wow. I don't know. I started late because I was super tired, but I know when I start streaming, I wake up, I get more energetic or whatever. So I should have just started streaming right away, but whatever. I definitely needed the ibuprofen though, because my legs feel so much better now. They were fucking killing me. It hurt to move, man. Bad. No good. No, real bad. 14 or 40, 14. 40, 14. Called in the turtles. Yeah, delete all that redundant shit. Woohoo! Oh, what's the over-under on this? Nice. We saved 250 lines. Just by these stupid fucking macro functions. 250 lines gone. It's a quarter of a K-lock. Gotta get them K-locks down. Get them down. No, nobody knows what I'm trying to reference there? Okay, good. Okay, maybe Swills does. How many K-locks is that gonna be? Everything's in K-locks. It's all about the vibes now, though. Yeah, we got to get a vibrator from Chrissy. Could we rate the vibes of a pull request with Chrissy's vibrator? I don't think she has that available for people to work on or anything, but or it's open source or something. I don't know. I haven't talked to her in a while. Anybody seen her streaming lately? So I recently found out. I don't know if you guys all remember Anyuski. She's a ethical hacker streamer. I don't think she streamed in a while. Anyway, she just moved. She's much closer to me now. So I was like, hey, we should hang out, meet up or something sometime. And like, and Chrissy comes through here sometimes too. So we should have a mini Twitch meetup. So, and like, I sent that to Chrissy and she just responded with the thumbs up. Like, wow, okay, yeah, you're busy. Yep. It's cool. Not even words, only an emoji. All right, sure. All right, that looks all right here. Burb. Clean, AC up default, AC pull minus U. Oh boy. I don't think this is my first computer. You know, it's definitely not mine, but what the fuck is this? It's only 150 bucks? So it's like a pocket piece. What the fuck? I love how it has the phone coupler. What do you call those things again? Yeah, no, the first I had was some 386 SX23 megahertz. I don't even know what brand it was. It was monochrome. An acoustic coupler, is that what you call them? Okay. Now you have to log into Facebook. Or you might be able to hit cancel. Because it's Marketplace, maybe. $40.13. Okay, well, if you want to see it, you do. But otherwise, whatever. You're not old enough to have a Facebook account? Aren't you older than me? You're only 50? Yeah. Like my, I get to increment my counter in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today. Yay. At least it's prime. It's a prime year for me. To just marketplace? Yeah, that's probably fine. Although we still get a fair amount of hits and, well, not fair. We get less than 0 a month on average. Interactions on the Pidgin page on Facebook. And you're like, do you guys fix Messenger yet? Like, no. You guys fix Messenger yet? Can I log into Messenger yet? No. Did you pay us to fix Messenger yet? Pay you? What? That's not how this works. Open source is free. Free software, man. It doesn't cost anything. Oh, we're still stuck at 33. Developers work for free. Get it. Got it. Yeah. And everyone loved us so much they pay our bills and you know, open source would be great if it wasn't for all the fucking assumptions. People just make the most ridiculous assumptions about open source development. The only reason you have Facebook is because you're looking for a deuce and a half or a... Okay. I don't know what either of those are. Sure. Default. Default. So in Ibis land, unless it's hassle, in Ibis land, launch Ibis land. Why is purple test over here? Okay, whatever. Build fuzzing. So I did manage to get the fuzzer started, but I'm doing something wrong with the corpus. So I started building out a corpus. But the problem is it doesn't know, like, I think I have to put these in separate files, which is a fucking bummer. HMMWV is the original. Oh, okay. I was like, is that a Humvee? I don't know. Oh, geez. Okay. The W is silent. Yes. Understood. Okay. LLV. Buzzing. I'm pretty sure that truck goes back before 9/11. Where's that other page I had over here? Oh, don't tell me I closed it. Oh no, there it is. All right. Oh, okay, that's how they do that part. So, all right. LLV, or I think this is technically libfuzzer corpus. One of the 70s deuces, and half the engines will run on anything gas, diesel, kerosene, jet fuel, farts, whatever. Gray water. The all pin inputs are 497. Change that in my blank, blah, blah, blah. Seed corpus. So far, we've tried several fuzz targets on which a bug can be found without much effort. Not all targets are that easy. One important way to increase fuzzy efficiency is provide an initial set of inputs, aka a seed corpus. For example, let's try another target, WAF2, building it like this. Okay. You see the fuzzer is stuck. It's running millions of inputs but cannot find many new code paths. Okay. First step you should make in such case to find inputs that trigger enough code paths. The more the better. The WAF2 fuzz target consumes web fonts and blah blah blah. Military learned in World War II they didn't know what kind of fuel they would have available for trucks, so they reacted to that for the Cold War. Basically make them run anything. Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm just, having fun. You want a car that runs on air pollution? I want a car that runs on the smugness of rust evangelicals. I said smugness. I didn't say blood. Much greater than before. And it keeps growing. It runs on vegans. Vegans that do it for health tend to be fine. Vegans that are the preachy ones are annoying. Yeah. Like I work with somebody who he had to go vegan to deal with heart disease. Right? Sure. Right? Who cares? Yeah. No, I've met a lot of preachy ones. And SWK has possibly met the preachy ones that I have met as well. Because we were at the same ClueCon together. And it's just like, dude, chill out. So they want files. And one threatened to kick your ass because you had leathers on? Oh, jeez. That's just ridiculous. Another important way to improve fuzz is to use a dictionary. This works well if the input format being fuzz consists of tokens or has lots of magic values. There's something hilarious about libfuzzer.info doesn't have HTTPS, right? Most vegans are like Rust developers. How do you know either of them are any of those? They'll tell you, yeah. Getting started. Corpus. Coverage guided fuzzers like libfuzz rely on a corpus of sample inputs for the code under test. The corpus should ideally be seeded with varied collection of valid and invalid inputs for the code under test. For example, for graphics lab, whatever. The corpus can also act as a sanity regression check to confirm that the fuzzing entry point still works and that all the same inputs run through the code. Either generated by fuzzing or acquired by other means. You may want to minimize it while still preserving the full coverage. When we do this with the merge equals one flag. Like, you're not telling me how the fuck to build this thing, you fucking asshole. Yeah, create a corpus directory. Also generates random mutations based around the sample inputs in current corpus. A mutation triggers execution previously uncovered path in the code under test. Then that mutation is saved to the corpus for future variations. libfuzzer works without any initial seeds, but will be less efficient if the library under test accepts complex structured inputs. The corpus can also act as if a large... like, I guess I'm supposed to put each one of these as their own file. There's no pious like the new convert? Yes, very true. Alright, so I guess what I'm supposed to do, I'm in the wrong thing here. Where are we on? We're on 6. As you can see, I went through, I got all the byte stuff in here. I think I got all of it right. I think the escapes are good. But apparently I need to put each one of these into their own file. So, new folder, corpus, which means I have to name all of these, which fucking sucks. Or I can cheat. Threshold, take us to the threshold, huh? Are you on GitHub? Where is your source code? I want to see if you have fuzzing. Source code. Fuzz support. Fuzz.diff. I do not see a corpus here. It's weird that they have a diff for this rather than whatever, but sure. You took the deep dive. You got a P1S from Bamboo Labs. Thanks for your words of kindness a few months ago when we were saying 3D print. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about 3D printing before because blink. So this container was at, what was it, 34% humidity? So in my office right now, it is 45% humidity. Right? 72.4 Fahrenheit, 45% humidity. According to this hydrometer, these things, they're not great. And this container was at 39. Yeah, it was at 39 when I closed it. Now it's down to 33. I swapped out the silica beads I have in there. So it's getting there, but it hasn't moved past 33 yet. So yes, I did miss the movie reference. What was the reference? I don't know a reference like that. 31 humidity? Yeah. So like your filament is gonna, if you're using PLA, all filaments need to be a certain level of dry, and if it's too humid, you're gonna have problems with them. PLA works best 10 to 20. Obviously, drier the better. But so like 30 is probably too high for this. So, I guess WeChat. Somebody else. Oh, maybe HexChat. HexChat might have stuff too. Huh. I don't know why, but I just had the dumbest idea that I can't believe I haven't had before. So, like, we were talking earlier about WASM, and people are all the time, WASM, 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 right? Future's WASM, WASM. a lot of chat clients and or networks or client or whatever tend to have like even it, or just software, open source software in general, right? They might have a web chat thing on their web page to let you jump in and chat um to like Libera or something, right? It just takes you right to their room. There's literally no reason why we couldn't do that with Pidgin, right? If we target WASM and somebody builds a web front end, you could just run Pidgin in your browser and store everything in local storage, right? Like, am I wrong? That sounds doable, right? Everything would run client side. Shit, you can even make it a PWA in theory, right? A progressive web app. But why? Because some people don't want to install software, right? So if they can just get Pidgin in their browser that runs locally for them, then cool. How's it going, Excel? Welcome, welcome. Had some painful experience in Blazor. Okay. No, GTK is not web-based. Not at all. GTK is native. It uses either X11 or Wayland on Linux and other Unixes and BSDs, etc. It uses whatever the fuck the Windows API is. That used to be called Arrow, but I think it's just still GDI. And on Mac, it uses Quartz. There was an experimental HTML backend for GTK, so you could run stuff in a browser, but it was just rendering in the browser. It was still running locally. Now, to be clear, I'm not saying I would necessarily build that because I don't know any of those tools or anything, right? But it would be an option for people to use and have, potentially. And it also shows the power of libpurple and stuff too, right? That's what we would ultimately be going for. Um, tools. I'm looking if they got any fuzz and stuff here. Mostly because I'm looking for how the hell they name their damn corpus. I'm not seeing anything. Unless it's under tests. Fuzz. Alright, they're set up for OSS Fuzz, of course. Are they really not parsing IRC messages? Okay. I guess I'm just the weirdo that wants to do this, but alright, whatever. I don't want Burb, I need Ibis. Alright. Do we name these or do we cheat? I don't know what this A1 file is. Maybe it's steak sauce or AI. I don't know. Oh. That's what it is. Apparently I named it A1. ASCII one, maybe? I don't know. It's steak sauce for dinner. What's the easiest way to read a line from a shell script? For F in read Echo or printf. Ooh. I forgot the do. Do the do! And then I type it. What am I doing wrong here? There's great for communication, but the whole download code and run it instantly with nearly zero restrictions thing is a bad idea. No, okay, that's fair. But it's in a sandbox, man. WASM has a sandbox. It's safe. You can do whatever there. What am I doing wrong here? It's not read line. Shall read file line by line. Oh, I want to do -R. That's the problem. Nope. Look at what I have. Like, you're saying I need input equals 0, which seems weird. Unless line is what I need here. But it's dying out before that. Yeah. But it still doesn't like that as a for loop. I'm not gonna trust the they're using a while, not a for. I don't want to do man bash. Because let's see how often I do this. Read array. Where the fuck is read? Oh, it's because map file. Okay. ERS. Oh, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Prompt. Name. There's no F here, though. Backslash does not act as an escape character. The backslash is considered to be part of the line. In particular, blah, blah, blah. This is probably gonna break in fun ways. Yeah, that's. I needed to not tokenize, which ifs should have done. Fuck, I could have written this in Python right now. Am I using info one? I typed man bash. Uh like I don't know why this didn't work. Like, is printf the problem? No, printf shouldn't be the problem here. It's been a long time. Oh, just show me the fucking example, man. Can I do this without this? Oh, no, but I can do it this way. Update doesn't return. How you fucking can? God damn it. I just want to generate files based on the content. And update doesn't return the thing, so I god damn it. Fine. Fuck. Oh. Oh. I don't. Oh no, we do need the hex. Okay, yeah. So then we say with. Is it 2? Is it 1 or 2? I think it's 1. Oh, that's a problem. God damn it. I keep typing asshole. Alright, I can do UTF-8. I don't care. It's fine. Finally. Fuck your bash. There we go. Everything looks fine. I tried that. It didn't work. No, it didn't. I guarantee you that. So this did hit some weird crashes earlier. You can see I got an before, but this might have been based on my corpus being fucked up. Also, I'm not sure I built the fuzzer in the right way. But the intent is, you know, as we're getting potentially more users and stuff, we need to be validating all this stuff. So, yeah. We'll give it a few minutes, see what happens. But so fuzzing, for those of you that don't know, is what you do is, so the fuzzer here is real simple. All it does is we take the data we got as an input, we cast it to a car star, we pass it into IBIS message pars, and we're looking for crashes. Right? Errors we don't really care about because we don't know what the input is. And what's going to happen is when you build your fuzzers, you build them with code coverage capability on so that the fuzzing library can detect if it's found new code paths and stuff like that. And if it's made it, and so what it'll do is it'll start randomly changing the input string. And then if it detects a new code path, then it saves that as part of your seed data. Okay. Out of memory. Zero AB, whatever. That's what? What's the other room? Yeah, it's supposed to be the oh, unless you're telling me it died on just an exclamation point? What? How did I? That just can't be right. That's what it's saying it crashed on. Yeah, exactly. Like, what? I think I spelled it wrong. How did I run out of memory on that? We lost bytes because I didn't free the message we got back, so that's fine. But there, yep. Wait, what? Four? No, that's 4 megs. Never mind. So I don't know what the hell this fuzzer is smoking because I don't know how it got to that. I still don't know that we're running this the right way. Seed corpus 45. So like, there's 2 arguments you can pass to the thing, and the problem is like all this stuff is just, I don't know, written for ass. So my fuzzer corpus directory, max length, number of jobs. Actually, that's a good question. How many jobs is this doing? It looks like not a lot. I don't know that it's gonna do a lot if I give it a bunch of cores. Like, we keep getting these ones, but like, I don't know why I've opened an IPMI on here anyways. But like, this doesn't look like an kill. One of the other started out with a 0A2. Not really what I wanted. For effing star do. Sure. Echo $F HD $F done. Like, I don't care. I don't have sysv. I don't know what the shit it was complaining about with sysv. This is system D. There's, yep. So this fuzzer seems to suck. And this might be on me too, right? That's totally possible. Doesn't it say it was fucking jobs? Single-threaded unless the library under test starts its own threads. However, it's possible to run multiple libfuzzer processes in parallel with a shared corpus directory. This has the advantage that any new inputs found by one fuzzer process will be available to the other fuzzer process, unless you disable it with the reload equals 0 option. By the jobs, which indicates that end fuzzing jobs should run at completion until a bug or whatever, fork mode. I shouldn't be. This is not super it runs a regex. And then it allocates it into a structure. Oh, I got the syntax wrong. That's a fucking problem. much better. You know, in Roast, you wouldn't have to fuzz your inputs to make sure your parser is right. And the answer is yes. Yes, you would. Where is it putting these? Oh, I ran it from the build directory. Like, I don't know how these are crashing.